All right, folks, welcome to Hard Hat Conversations. I'm your host, Richard, and I'm stationed here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. It's a Friday night, February the 28th, 2025. Like I said, this is Hard Hat Conversations. I'm your host, Richard. We're going to talk about issues, what's going on in the world, and local things. And also at the end of the show and going into the show, we like to try to think about solutions and try to figure out how we can do to solve it and keep the stuff down because that's what we're here about. We're here about to talk about issues and solutions as well, not just sit up here and be a gossip show, but we're here to learn something and we're here to try to fix something. Okay, folks? So let's get into it. This is the last day of Black History Month, folks. Like I said, I wish I didn't have to say it that way and do it, but like I said, we live in a world where we have these certain rules and titles and stuff. So I'm just going along with the flow, folks. So bear with me on that. I wish we didn't have to have Black History Month, but we know with our history of our world with skin color and all kind of stuff, we created this mess. So this is the mess that we live in, and we're always trying to improve on it, right, folks? No matter who you are or where you came from, we're still one human race. So let's not forget that, folks, okay? We may disagree on how to grow this plant or how to eat this food or how to fix this, but at the end of the day, we all should come together and get along with each other, okay? Because we're all from the human race. No matter what you do, we all bleed red, we get sick, we die, we do all the same stuff. The only difference between me, you, and some other people, they may have a little bit of more money. That's it. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. All right? Let's get into this show, folks. I was contemplating on starting off with Black History Month, but I'm gonna step that to the side just for a minute, folks, because not too long ago, I want to get into the worldwide news. Um, I'm gonna do a little bit of commentary because most of my show is about facts. Of course, we're gonna have opinions, but I think my opinions might come out a little more on this show than previous shows. But I'm always trying to hold to the truth, okay? But I'm still gonna have my facts. I still got my notes, folks. I still got my notes. So what I'm running to, I'm gonna put Black History Month later on in the show. But let's start off with, excuse me, folks. Donald Trump and President Zielinsky with the Ukraine war. As we all knew, it's his third year. We knew it was going to come to an end sooner or later somehow. And of course, the end is always hard to get to. Solutions, right? We're going to fight. We're going to do all this. We're going to disagree. We need to go left. We need to go right, up and down. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to give a solution. You know why, folks? You know why? Because at the end of the day, all that fighting, arguing, name calling, guess what it comes down to at the end of the day, folks? Money. Yep, money. Not love, not hope, money. And I think the money is running out, and people are tired of the powers to be are tired of spending their money in Ukraine. So they got Israel to slow down. Now they're trying to slow the Ukraine down because they tired of pumping out money. And that's what it is. That's the real facts. That's the hard truth, folks. They put up there that they want to love the people and they trying to protect the people and blah blah this and blah blah that. Maybe 5% of that is true. 5%. But the other 95% is about money. And never let them think it ain't about money. They telling you right in your face on the news every day what it's about. Don't let your feelings get in the way. This is the hard truth of our world. Our world is messed up. We have so much in this world that the Creator gave us, but yet we fighting over it. Because a handful of people want it all. And that's the truth. I'm not beating up on rich people, but I've got to tell the truth. They want it all. The more you have, the more you want. Just check your household. I look at my own household. In my house, I got some cluttered stuff. I say I got stuff I don't never use. And I think back in the past, the reason, I'm not giving excuses, folks, but I'm just trying to analyze it. I think in the past with my stuff, I didn't make a lot of money and still don't, but I made way less back then. And I was hoarding stuff because I couldn't afford to buy nothing else. So if that break down, I got to go back to this little stash I have. So I can understand that. Our parents and grandparents done that. Don't forget we had depression and stuff like that. So a lot of people hoard stuff because they can't afford to buy nothing else, so they want to keep it. And I can understand that to a point. Now there's a point where you go overboard too. But let's get right back to the President Zielinsky and Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. They had that big meeting today, folks. I know it's all over your phones are blowing up. You got commentators coming on saying this, saying that, blaming this, blaming that. They all guilty, folks. The leaders, they all can't come together. Zielinsky don't want to give up power. Trump want to end this war. It was a campaign. And he want to stop spending United States money as well. Do you blame both of them? That's the way they grew up in. That's the world we live in. So you got two heads butting together. Donald Trump got more cards than Zielinsky. And the European nation, it's their fault, just like in World War II, folks. When Germany was on the march, they had to try to make peace earlier with Obama, just like Zielinsky told you. He went back. Trump didn't go back. Zielinsky told you. I talked to Obama. This went way back. Talked to Joe Biden. He threw a couple of dollars at him so we could stay out of it. And isn't that what we did in World War II, folks? Roosevelt gave them tanks, gave England and France and them some money and tanks because he didn't want to get in that stupid mess. But eventually he had to get into it. History just repeats itself, just different players in different times. So now here we are repeating ourselves. We got one person, Zielinsky, don't want to give up power, and he know he have to because he's not a superpower. He has no nuclear weapons. That's right, folks. Let's not forget about nuclear weapons. We hollering about Russia. We need to do this with Russia. You can't do nothing with Russia. You know why, folks? Because they got those nuclear weapons enough to wipe all of us out. Any of these nations out here that got nuclear weapons say, you know what? If I can't have it my way, I'm just going to take it. You try to come over here and do something to me, I'm just going to take everything out. Because it only take a few of them to take everything out, folks. That's all. So let's not forget that. Let's not get into this little emotional, crazy stuff. Let's do this real hard truth fact. The reason you have to show diplomacy is because the nuclear weapons are a deterrent. Where you want to attack that country. Why you think they don't want Iran to get them? You got a nuclear weapon, nobody's going to come in your backyard. You got a pit bull in your backyard, and it said beware pit bull. Ain't nobody coming in your backyard because they know how vicious the pit bull is. He's going to protect that home. It's the same thing, folks. Let's be real. So we have to do diplomacy. War is the last resort. You don't want no World War III. It won't last long. It won't be no years. It'll be a few days once they shoot these nukes off. Read your history. You have to give up something to gain something. There's bad people in control of stuff right now. Hey, let's not forget our own history. United States. England. England was the big boy, the superpower. They ruled over India, Hong Kong, other nations. It wasn't just the United States coming over here, taking over the Indians and taking all their land. England doing the Dutch. They still all over there in Africa. Look at Africa. Their influences are still over there. Chinese over there now. The Japanese did the same thing. This is nothing new. But the only thing that's different is Russia got nuclear weapons. Now, Russia, if they love their children, it's an old song by, what is his name? Sting. Everybody look that up. I hope the Russians love their children too. That song was played during the Cold War when the United States was going after Russia, telling them to take down their wall. And we all know that if diplomacy falls, then nuclear weapons going to fly. If diplomacy falls, nuclear weapons will fly. And we don't want that, folks. So we better hope Russia don't want that. The United States definitely don't want it. And we hope those other countries don't want it. You see, Europe just now getting involved, really. I know they probably had behind-the-scenes talks and stuff, but you have to have the French minister come out. Where the rest of them? Get in front of the cameras and say, hey, Russia, make an agreement. I know you got to do some things behind closed doors, but do something up in the front. I agree with Donald Trump with that one part about let the American media see what's going on this part. You can't show every game plan, but you can show a little bit of it. Oh, Donald Trump he's a bad guy. Of course he is on certain things. But some of the things he makes sense. And we got to look at the other side too. Why is this guy letting this stuff go on? Oh, we got the Zielinsky I'm talking about. You got to get a ceasefire first, then diplomacy. And you got to give up a little something. Look, countries are not spending their money to help another country for no reason. They expect a little quid pro quo. That means another kickback. I help you, you help me. That's normal. We do it in it's called the barter system. We do it every day in our lives. So this was a little fussing and a hustling. But hopefully they'll come together. They don't want to lose their riches. They don't want to lose their power. They're going to come together. It's a little ego involved. I believe that. Let me look at my notes, folks. It's a little ego involved. So let's not get too crazy over this. Let's see what happens. All right, folks? All right. I'm going to get off of that. Short night. Cavs play the Boston Celtics. I want everybody to know, look, just one game. Cavs are still learning each other. They're still working on it. They got to beat the big dog. And until they beat the big dog, if they have to face the big dog at the end, then that'll be a difference. But we still need to show up tonight no matter what. I know it's one game, and if the Cavs lose, don't be disappointed. But they still need to show up and show this team that they're ready. You cannot have a 20-something point deficit and looking bad. You can't do that, Cavs. Y'all got to bring y'all A game, because they're going to bring theirs. I hope all they players there. I want to play them at full strength to see what my team, the Cavaliers, are. I know everybody jumping on the bandwagon. They got every right. But they got to play good tonight. Boston okay, because they won the championship. Until somebody else win the championship, they still a big dog. But the Cavs got to win tonight, man. I know it's just one game, but they have to make a statement. Hey, we ready for you. And if we meet you, it's going to be a tough battle. So let's go Cavs. All right, let me get back in my Black History Month. It's the last day of it, February the 28th. Let's get into it a little bit. I got a lot of thank yous to go around, history thank yous. I'd like to thank John Brown, a white Christian preacher that helped free some slaves and was fighting the Southern lawship. They killed him with his slaves, but they fought for the cause of get rid of slavery. That's John Brown. Look him up. Of course, I'd like to thank the great Malcolm X, the great Dr. Martin Luther King, the white abolitionist, the white abolitionist, the white abolitionist. And the reason I'm saying white 3 times because I got to let my fellow brothers and sisters know that white people was involved in this as well, you know. Without them, some of the calls wouldn't have been done, okay? They had to help us. I'd like to thank back then, the NAACP, when they actually was doing something. Not today, but back then, I'd like to thank them. I'd like to thank the Black Panther Party. I'd like to thank them back then. I even like to thank the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. I like to thank them. I like to thank all the Jewish leaders that was there marching. I like to thank the white Christians that was there marching. Okay? I like to thank all those folks. And don't forget, folks, I like to thank Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma, I might be saying this wrong, Gandhi. Look him up. He's the one that helped free India from England rule. He helped free England with the non-violence marching. And guess where Dr. Martin Luther King got that from, folks? He got that from Mahatma Gandhi. Look it up, folks. He took that book, that that handbook from him, and used it to help free black folks from the South tyranny and America as a whole. Look it up, folks. Mahatma Gandhi. He the one that started that. They the ones, the India people, the ones that got beaten with sticks in India trying to take back their country from the oppressors. So I like to thank him. All right? Goodbye, Black History Month. Hope everybody learns some stuff. And like I said, Black History can be every day. Show love and peace. And my brothers and sisters, remember, we're all the same human race, no matter what. There are going to be some good ones and some bad ones out there in every race. But at the end of the day, we all need to come together. All right, real quick, another note. Donald Trump. I got to talk about Donald Trump again. He just endorsed a black governor. What's this black governor name? Let me go to my notes, folks. I think his name Byron's. Oh man, did I write that down wrong? But look it up. Just type in black. Trump endorsed a black governor for Florida. I think it's Byron Donald. Yeah, Byron Donald. Trump endorsed. He's black, folks. He's blacker than black. So don't be saying Donald Trump don't have nobody in his cabinet. He donated him. He's not in the cabinet, but he supported him. And he got Kash Patel from India, a Hindu descent, as the FBI director. So let's cut the garbage out, please. When we see racism, let's really get on it. But when we just talk about it because we just don't like somebody, get out of here. All right. Another thing, folks, sports. They got this so-called, well, I don't want to say so-called, he's good. Anthony Edwards, he played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here they go again. He's a young dude. He's young, 24, 23, something like that. He played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They comparison him to Michael Jordan. I wish they stopped that stuff. The guy ain't even played long enough to be compared with anybody. But he's pretty good. He play all right to me, you know. But here's the problem, folks. And this is the problem. I don't mind people making money. I still think we overpay for entertainment. I'm always say that. I think it's ridiculous what we pay for entertainment. And you got people like me and everybody out here working hard, electricians, bus drivers, cashiers, just bricklayers, construction, everything, hospital workers, dietitians, all of the people that's working, and they don't want to pay them nothing. But these same people that own these companies and make these rules about what they pay the employees, they'll pay $5,000 for a seat. It's ridiculous, folks. Nobody should be worried about no light and gas bill. It's ridiculous, man. But that's the dark side of being rich. That's the dark side. And don't get me talking about they care. They don't care. They want more. The majority of them. You may get one or two that'll do something. I keep telling you folks, you can be rich and help. But I ain't going to stay on there. Anthony Edwards, speak. He need to learn how to talk. And I'm not trying to tell nobody what to say, but words matter. That's why we talk to use certain words. You can't be angry at an interview every time somebody talks to you. You can't be using foul language all the time. We get enough of that already. You on public TV. Show some class. Talk that stuff you ain't in a locker room. Don't use the N-word. Don't use cuss words. You got fans out there that support you. Don't forget about the fans. Show some love. These players need to show love to the fans. All sports players. You making millions of dollars to play games. You know how crazy that is? Show some love to the people that pay your bills. Stop this. Enjoy the game. Embrace it. Be involved. Uplift the game. It's making you millions. You should enjoy it. You playing basketball. You're not on no skyscraper hanging up steel. Come on. You're not digging a ditch. You don't work for the water department down in a hole trying to fix a water main. You make $1 million to play a backyard game. Act like it. Show some pride. Enjoy the fans that's there. Jeez. I'm not trying to beat him up, but I know he got to learn, but come on. It's getting out of hand. And you know what? It's getting where I guess the people going to say, oh, you just an old fogey. No, I was young once. Yeah. Believe it or not, I was young. Yeah. I can show you pictures. I was young. Yeah. Amazing, huh? Because some of y'all look at us like, oh, they just old. We was young too, folks. So we know what's going on. That's why we telling you now. This is basketball, not football. You want to play football, go play football. It's just too much. Then they blame the refs for, you're calling too many fouls. Well, you're beating up people. They can't even play basketball right. You're grabbing arms, you're pushing, you're elbowing, you're running them over. That's not basketball. That's football. Got to slow that stuff down. This ain't street ball. This is the NBA. This is called the professional, the National Basketball League. This ain't ghetto ball. Come on, folks. Stop this stuff. I'm getting where I don't even want to enjoy the game. And those players that don't want to play, get out of there. I'm sick of them. Tired of them. I know some of them get hurt, but come on, some of them worse than some of these people out here claiming disability and all this mess. Lazy. You got laziness everywhere. But they want that money though, don't they? And then that hurts the people that really are hurt and really need to have time off. They're going to blame everybody, oh, you just like everybody else. Let's start weeding those folks out. This other superstar, get them out of here. This other superstar that came before them and will be there after them. We're babysitting these clowns. Get somebody else that can play just almost as good and pay them less if you want to. I guarantee you can find somebody else that appreciate it. And they'll play down there every game. I get kudos to LeBron James. I may not agree with all his political stuff, but I think he did a hell of a job. I think so. But people still like to beat you up no matter what. They're always looking for something bad on you. So basketball, let's get it together. March Madness coming up. Let's get it together, folks. Let's just change the sports a little bit. Okay? And quit trying to compare women's basketball and any sports with men's sport. We're different. Stronger, some of us stronger and faster. It's a different game. Get more women involved in watching you. That should be your main audience. And some men sprinkled in. Men are not going to gravitate to the women game like that. You have a few that'll look at it. Hell, I even looked at it a few times during the playoffs. I enjoyed it. But don't force us to try to look at it. You need to try to get more women involved. Just like the men got men involved in men's sports. Stop this trying to combine. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Stop it. They got the Special Olympics, so they don't have to be in the regular Olympics. Because they can't do it. Come on, folks. Nothing wrong with that. It's based on our abilities, just like getting a job. Hey, folks, this is Hard Hat Conversations. Y'all have a good weekend, okay? Lord willing, I'll see you Monday with some updates. And let's pray for our country and still pray for Ukraine and all that to stop this fight and war, because most of the people that get hurt is us, the small person. Not the ones that's talking about it. Oh, they living good. It's the small people like us that just want to live our lives. So let's just pray for them. Even if you don't know them, just pray for them, okay, folks? Or think about them. Because they the ones that suffer. Not Zielinsky, Trump and all them. Anybody in that White House, anybody in those other countries that's leaders, they're not suffering. Their family's not suffering. It's the regular folks like me and you. Okay? Let's pray for those folks. Good night.